In this video, we're going to introduce you to a really great efficiency tool called a named range. Uma has been asked to calculate the company's pension contribution for each of their staff. This is done by multiplying the annual salary by the contribution rate, which is 9%. Let's start by recapping how we would do this without named ranges. So I'm going to click in O4, type equals, click on annual salary, type my asterisk to multiply, click on my pension rate, and then click enter. Now I know I can copy my calculations down, so I'm going to double click my fill handle. Oh dear, something went really wrong. Let's see what the problem is. I'm going to double click back into O4. Now remember that Excel automatically uses relative referencing. What that means is when I drag my formulas down, it drags the cells it refers to as well. So P1 has become P2. Now I don't want P1 to move. I want it to stay absolute or fixed. And to do this, we need to come back to our original calculation, make sure we're clicked near the P or the 1, and press our F4 key. This puts $1 before the P and $1 before the 1, which tells Excel not to move this cell. Now I'm going to click enter and copy that down again. And now it works perfectly. You will have to use absolute cell references quite a lot of the time. But when you're working with very large data sets or data on separate worksheets, you will find these calculations can be slow to create and look really ugly. So a neater option is to use a named range. Let's see how this works. I'm going to get rid of those calculations and start again. Now, $P, $1 is not very meaningful. If I could multiply by something meaningful like pension rate, that would help. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to click into P1 and I'm going to change its name. To do this, I'm going to come to my name box. This is the small box to the left of the formula bar. At the moment, it says P1. I'm going to click in there, and instead I'm going to type pension underscore rate. Now, very important, please don't use a hyphen or a space. It must be an underscore, and then you must press enter. And I've now renamed that cell. Now I'm going to click away for a moment. If you've just opened a workbook and you want to know if there are named ranges and where, come back to your name box, click the drop down, and there are all my named ranges. Only the one in this case, but if I click on it, it actually navigates to the named range so you can easily find it. So name box can be used to create or navigate. Right, now you probably gathered that there are a few rules around naming ranges. I'll just run through those. Named ranges can contain letters, numbers, or underscores, but no other characters, no hyphens, no spaces. They can be up to 255 characters long, but it's important you don't try and use a cell reference. Now that last one sounds a little bit silly, but be careful. For example, if I were to select these 5 cells and I decided to call them top 5, if I come into my name box and type top 5 and click enter, can you see what's happened? Top 5 is actually a cell reference. Our columns go all the way up to XFD, so any 3 letters followed by a number is going to give us a cell reference, including USA 2016. So just be a little careful with that one. If you're unsure, put an underscore. Right, let's press our Control Home button to get back, and I'll just budge across a tiny bit. Okay. We've named our range. Let's redo our calculation. So I'm going to click in O4, equals, click on my salary, type my asterisk, click on P1, but this time it uses the name pension rate. That already looks a lot better. Now I'm going to click enter, come back, double click to copy down, no problem. So a named range automatically gives us that absolute cell reference, a much neater looking formula, and no dollars required. We're already seeing masses of benefits, but this is just the beginning.